On the 24th of June 1995, Christine Susan Munro was a 37-year-old nurse, mother of 4 children, and a Redding, California resident. On this day, she decided to go for a jog on the south side of Sacramento River Trail. As she was jogging, she was suddenly confronted with a stranger who started stabbing her with a knife. During this time, she started defending herself and tried to fight back. She managed to scratch the offender, but was overwhelmed and soon passed away from her injuries. Her lifeless body was discovered and police were contacted. When they arrived, evidence was collected from the crime scene. When the news of the attack broke, it shocked the entire community. Investigators conducted countless interviews and followed up on many leads. However, the case eventually went cold. Then in 1997, a man falsely confessed to taking Munro's life. This was ignored because his confession lacked detail and didn't match the evidence at the crime scene. Then in late 2019, the case was reopened with the hope that the physical evidence could be analysed using modern DNA technology. In January of 2020, Munro's fingernail scrapings were sent to a forensic lab for analysis, and in June of 2020, the authorities received a notification of a possible match through the CODIS DNA database. The evidence matched the profile of 42-year-old James Watkins of Texas as a suspect. He would have been 17 years old at the time of the crime. Watkins was currently serving a 14-year sentence for robbery in a state prison in Texas. Detectives started looking into Watkins' movements at the time of Munro's attack and found that he had moved from Texas to Redding in early 1995 to live with his aunt and uncle. Before he moved back to Texas in fall of 1997, he had been contacted by the Redding Police Department 8 times. Those contacts included an arrest on suspicions of shoplifting and unlawful camping. While in Texas, he had been arrested and charged with multiple crimes, including indecent assault, burglary, escape and bank robbery. Watkins has spent a significant portion of his life in jail. In August of 2020, the Redding Police Department detectives flew to Texas to interview Watkins. With the assistance of the Texas Rangers, a search warrant was issued for Watkins' DNA and obtained a sample from him. Upon their return, detectives transferred the Watkins DNA sample to the California Department of Justice Redding lab. Within a few weeks, the analysis confirmed that the original CODIS hit matched the evidence from the crime scene. A warrant for Watkins' arrest was granted on the 22nd of October 2020, and he faces charges for taking Munro's life, kidnapping, and indecent assault. The authorities transferred Watkins from Texas to Redding and continued interviewing him on the 13th of November 2020, where authorities said he hadn't provided a motive. He's currently housed in the Shasta County Prison without bail. He's pending sentencing, and his first court appearance is due next week. If convicted, Watkins will be spared his life because he was a juvenile at the time of the crime, but he faces the prospect of life in jail without the possibility of parole. Lisa, who's one of Munro's daughters, thanked the authorities for their work on the case. Not a single day goes by that I don't think about the day my mum's life was taken. She loved the river trail, and I take comfort knowing that she passed away in a place that she loved so much. Thank you, all of you.